Welcome to lesson 4 of the Wan Tao Kung Fu Introduction course. In this lesson, we're going to go over some basic kicking. Now, in the last lesson, we went through the basic centerline punch, and the low heel kick is really the equivalent of that punch, but for the legs. Now, in our system, the arms protect the upper body, and the legs protect and attack through the lower body. Now, the kick we're going to do from the stance is we're going to do what's called a low heel kick. Now, basically what you're thinking about doing is, of course, maintaining your stance and your state, like what we spoke about in the previous lessons. And from here, you're bringing the knee and ankle up towards the center to make contact with your heel. Now, you'll be contacting to the knee of the opponent, which is the weak point of the leg. So you can hopefully break or crush the knee so that you've taken them out of the combat situation. Of course, that you do that with love and respect. Now, side note, non-violence is a central piece of our teachings. And when we talk trash, we say, yeah, you punch him in the nose, you kick him in the knee. We're only saying that for a self-defense situation. If, someone's beating up your child or trying to abduct your wife, we never condone violence in any way. So, if I borrow Austin, if he's the bad guy and he's shaped up, the low heel kick would be used from here straight to the knee. So you'd be coming straight up and contacting with the heel to the side or the front of the knee in order to damage it. They're actually thinking about making this kick illegal in the UFC because it's damaging a lot of people. People have been using the low heel kick to the knee. Now, another way it can be used if Austin's facing towards me is that if he's throwing a kick towards me, as soon as he kicks, I come straight up my center, meaning it's like a block. So as soon as he's kicking, I come straight up, and better than being kicked in the groin is to being kicked in the leg. I promise you that. If not, test it out. Go grab a friend and let him kick you in the nuts and see what feels better, leg or nuts. Now, with the low heel kick, the essential part of it is that you want to use as little force as possible and think about using correct movement and body structure. So to demonstrate, if I am using force, so as Austin pushes on, if I am using muscular force, then it's quite easy for him to stop that kick, yeah? Because he's got his body mass coming down on it. Whereas if I can center myself, like the exercises I was talking about before, get into my bone structure and think about the way the joints should move and think about the rotation of the joint, you'll see that it's much easier to push him back, much easier to generate power from my body, yeah? Because now we're using the rotation of the joints and the connected body structure and intention to deliver the power. So what I'm getting at is try to use your state when doing it. Now, if we can grab a pad. So to practice this, if you don't have a pad at home, if you don't have a pad, just go to a wall, and what I'd like you to do is to practice this kick 100 times. So just get your distance, like find your range, find where your foot takes a natural path up, and just raising the leg up gently and placing that heel on the wall or on the pad, depending on what tools you have access to. Now what I want you to simply do is maintain that uprightness and then just gently work the movement 28 times at least a day, so you get your 10,000 over a year, or if you want to level up, do more like 100 or so. Once you've practiced, if you've got a pad, then you can start increasing the power. Now, this is important if you're the partner holding the pad. If you do have a pad, make sure you've got your knee bent, so you've got an angle of strength here, and you put the pad on the thigh so that the contact's coming into the strength of your structure, not onto the sides of the knee joint, because that's quite dangerous and it could hurt and break your knee. So once again, just working with range, getting the good movement. Then after a while, all you need to do is just increase the speed of the movement in order to get the power coming out. Yeah? There is a slight downward and forward movement through the heel, which is the contact point. So practice that as much as you like. Now, we can't really do it like cross punching like we did in the chain punching exercise. So simply put, the way to practice the low heel kick, in my opinion, is like the same as the punch. Slow, many times on the wall. Now, the saying that comes to mind is Bruce Lee's saying, I don't fear the man who's done 10,000 kicks once, but the man who's done one kick 10,000 times. So if you have the patience, the concentration, the discipline, and the desire to be really good in your Kung Fu and self-defense training, then use this continuous kicking as a form of meditation to develop your Kung Fu skill. Especially if you start working on the energy state, which we did the meditation for in lesson 2. So you can go back to that and refresh if you need to. Okay, so that is the low heel kick. It's an extremely effective weapon for self-defense, especially because people don't expect it. All right, once again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or text me or in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.